for me personally, because I've mentioned this several times before, I like trying to figure out a PG way of saying this on your channel.
No, you all good. You can
let
the band-aid rip.
Oh, okay. The people that do watch me, they know, I like to smoke the devil's lettuce, so to speak, every now and then. So,
okay.
And with it being legal there,
yeah,
I mean that's another convenience as well. So all those things combined is just like it's like the perfect place for me, to be honest.
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Now, what made you decide to pick Thailand?
Man, it's so many reasons. I don't know. Well, I'll say this. For one, cost of living, the convenience, like pretty much anywhere you stay at, everything that you need is pretty much in walking distance. So it's very, very walkable. But even if you need to go and travel somewhere, get a taxi, very, very cheap. The food is, oh my God, the food is amazing. So many different flavors, but also very affordable and cheap. It's like, it's one of those situations where it's like if you want to splurge, you're still spending less than what you would back in the States.
Right.
The women just seem like they're raised to actually care about what men want and cater to their men. The culture is all about respect. And I would say, for me personally, because I've mentioned this several times before, I like trying to figure out a PG way of saying this on your channel.
No, you all good. You can the band-aid rip.
Oh, okay. The people that do watch me, they know, I like to smoke the devil's lettuce, so to speak, every now and then. So,
okay.
And with it being legal there,
yeah,
I mean that's another convenience as well. So all those things combined is just like it's like the perfect place for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I got you. It's interesting that you mentioned the devil's lettuce. Because I mean, listen, like there's quite a few brothers. I know some brothers will do like the edibles and stuff like that. This way they don't, like you can't smell it on them or whatever the case is. But to me, I don't think it's a big deal now. I do know, and I know a lot of people know me as the Colombian guy. So, like, I do know it's for some for some women who I've dated, like when I tell them how the difference is like between how I grew up and how they grew up, like as far as like how they look at it, they kind of get an understanding. But when you first mention it, they're like, "Oh hell no!" You know what I mean? So it's just yeah. So I completely get what you're saying. Like it's more of a lax environment when it comes to that. And then when you went to Thailand, what made you pick that place to be an expat?
I would say one of the things that really stands out to me is that before I ever went out there, it seems like there was already a camaraderie and somewhat of a community. And it's the one place that I've traveled to that I get recognized just out on the street the most. Seems like almost every other time I go out, there's somebody stopping me saying like, "Hey, I watch your channel." I'm like, and this is including brothers from other races. Like I had a couple white guys that bumped into me into the club and said, "Hey man, you so and so." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what's up?" Stop, take pictures, chop it up with them for a second.
Yep.
So I'm like, I think that's another one of the reasons why as well. And then you got Richie Mack out there.
Yeah, shout out to Zoom to Thailand, my guy.
Yeah, me and him done linked up a couple times. Danny Flight, Madness, El Guapo. Like I done met it seems like the most people that I've met and came across have been in that area as well. So I think that stands out. Then you got the black owned businesses, I support them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those people watch the channel as well. So that's enough. So there's a certain level of I guess you could say comfortability out there as well,
Right.
just already being known and recognized and them already having that camaraderie. So I was able to just kind of come in and just be welcomed,
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Interestingly enough, so I had an interview yesterday, and I was talking to Flip Flop. I'm sure you're familiar with who Flip Flop is.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Flip Flop, man.
Yeah, definitely. We had an excellent interview yesterday, and it's interesting that you mentioned the camaraderie in Thailand, because I know that a lot of guys, when they start traveling, one of the first places that they check out is usually Dominican Republic, right? And because you mentioned brothers having businesses in Thailand, a lot of brothers have businesses in Dominican Republic. So it's interesting to see that that you were willing to take the risk to go out even further to become an expat, as opposed to kind of right there. Like, I know you're East Coast / Midwest, because I know you're Ohio right there, but a lot of guys typically, especially Midwest, East Coast, Southeast, typically go to Dominican Republic. And yeah. And you're kind of one of the few that said, you know what, like, I'm going to do my thing in Thailand. Because I know brothers, like, they'll go to like Dominican Republic maybe for 4 or 5 months. Then they'll go to Colombia or Brazil, and then they'll say, okay, you know what, I'll do Asia, I'll do Bali, I'll do Philippines, I'll do Thailand, so on and so forth. So it's just interesting that you just jumped, and just did your thing like that.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why is because it seemed like everybody was going to DR.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like a situation where it was like, you know what, like let me go a different route. I mean, and what's crazy is I still haven't made my way to DR yet. And like,
really?
I gotta go one of these days. I'm like, because surprisingly enough, it's been a lot of people when I tell them I still haven't been there. So like, how everybody say they got the big 5.
Right, yeah.
That's the only one I haven't been to, because I've been to Colombia multiple times. I've been to Brazil because I met up with Passport Blueprint in Brazil last summer.
Okay.
And obviously I spent most of my time in Thailand, and I've been to the Philippines multiple times. Still haven't made it to DR yet, but I'm going to do it one of these days. So.
No, it's So, well, an interesting thing is, so I've been to the Dominican Republic, but I haven't been to Sosua though. Like, so I know, right? Yeah, so I've been to Santo Domingo, Santiago, Punta Cana, but I have not been to Sosua. I have not been to Sosua.
Yeah, because everybody tells me, like, all the places that you went, they recommend those places before Sosua anyway. So if I were to go, whenever I do go, I'll probably end up going to Punta Cana first, more than likely. That seems to be the place people tell me to go the most if I do go.
Yeah. Punta Cana. I mean, Punta Cana. Like, I liked it. I liked it. I like the fact that it's one of those places, and I haven't been to Sosua, so for people watching that live in Sosua or travel to Sosua frequently, don't get offended. but for what I understand when it comes to Punta Cana, from my experience, it's an experience where, like, you could go dolo. If you have a lady, you could go with a lady. I know you said you don't have any shorties kids, but like, you could bring your kid if you wanted to. So like, there's like a lot of different things to do. And from what I get from when it comes to Sosua, you would either go by yourself or you would go with like, you know, your brother, homeboy, somebody that's an adult, right? You know, but you probably couldn't bring you know, sand to the beach. You get
right.
Yeah, so that's the so that's the type of vibe that I get when it comes to Sosua. But again, I don't want to offend my Sosua people. I have not physically been there, but yeah, I've been to Punta Cana, so I can speak to it on that type of level. But you know, circling back to you, and you said that there was this camaraderie in Thailand. It kind of speak to that camaraderie. When you first got there, how were you well received, not only by the, you know, like the passport brothers or, you know, people under the umbrella, but how were you received by the locals?
The locals?
Yes.
Well, I would say let's see. Well, I think one of the things that stands out with the locals is how helpful they are. You know, if you even look like you might be lost, or you know you have any questions, they're I mean, like, the locals are just very, very helpful.
Yeah.
You know, they'll put you on to places that maybe like if you want to go somewhere that's a little bit more low key and a lot of tourists don't go, they always more than willing to put you on you know, spots that a lot of people don't go to. Like there's still places in Thailand that locals tell me to go to that I haven't been yet, but I want to go to, because there's a lot to see in Thailand. You know, there's that, and as well as, you know, putting me on different types of food, because I'm always trying to try something new as well. And hell, I'm like, even if there might be, you know, certain places where they know that I will probably want to see more people that look like me, they'll put me on to that as well, and things of that nature. So I'm like, I would say that's probably like the ways the locals welcome me in.
Okay. Now when you first got to Thailand, where were you living?
Pattaya. I originally, like my very first time going to Thailand, I went to Bangkok, because obviously that's usually where you're going to end up flying in at, unless you go directly to Phuket. But Bangkok is it's too much for me, man. That city is so big and it's just so much traffic. A little bit more expensive, but affordable. But I mean, Pattaya is like the perfect pocket for me, because it's inexpensive. The traffic doesn't really get too crazy unless it's high season. Like right now, it's low season, so it's super chill right now.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's rainy season as well.
Oh, okay.
But you know, and then plus it's right by the beach.